be experiencing the end of the Tudor saga. Who knows? When we left our heroes, this will kind of surge into our cutscene for a little bit. We had seen Arcticus bravely sacrifice himself, running through the heat wall created by Stasi to rouse his two fallen compatriots, and then himself succumb to the intense heat and fall unconscious as Brother Bonk and Vigal awoke to just barely out of their corner of their eyes see Gazi floating up by the ceiling, turn towards Qualo, who had run around the large pillar of fire. Actually, I should activate the correct scene for this, huh? To run around the large pillar of fire and escaped from the heat wall that way. And she kind of works her hands, and there appears a ball of dough that she then kind of magically just continues to spread and knead. And she's not even really touching it, but as she's kind of, working the dough almost with, magical extensions to her hands, it just kind of grows and grows and grows. And then she just kind of clicks it towards Qualo, and it just shoots off perfectly parallel, just spinning in the air like a thrown pizza pie dough. And it hits them just and kind of encloses around him and sucks inward. And unbeknownst to Brother Bonk and Zegal, but you guys see as Arcticus actually falls unconscious, and as he hits the ground and kind of bounces off, you see a bunch of kobolds that are coming up the steps. And just as they get to the door, Fleckle flies out from the pouch that Arcticus had him just chilling in, and kind of zips up and out of reach of the kobolds, and then you kind of fades out of view as he just shoots right down the staircase. And then he goes out down the other side of the staircase and goes back through that portal. And then flash to Lakeside, you see him come out of Sam's Bakery and go over to where a couple of kobolds are walking away from Lurith after they had just asked her if she was all right because she was puking out her nose. So Taco can't actually speak to her, but you see it kind of frantically just dancing around trying to get her attention. And as she looks at it and thinks for a second, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, she kind of turns the corner, peeks her head in the bakery, sees flour and donuts and pastries just strewn about from the battle, and sees that portal or the teleportation circle that was there is just kind of fading from view that now that it's not being actively treated. And she grabs her necklace and whispers a couple of words under her breath, and then poof, there's just a little yellow bird, and it flies off, heading southwest. Now let's return to the city. Rosare, you know why you have been on your way here. You, long last, after weeks of travel, have finally made your way to the grand city Aliara. You've been coming in from the east, so you have passed the Dragon Mount. You have seen Grumblar's shack, and you have kind of noticed the mist rising eternally from the Bay of Mist as you pass. But your trip has been largely uneventful. You have seen a few things that were worth your attention, but nothing that was really threatening. You have already come to understand that that there is at least one active dragon here in the area, but none of that is really of particular concern to you. You have arrived in the city, and what are you doing?
The first thing I'm going to do is look for somewhere I can maybe get directions. Probably the nearest inn or tavern or any not shady looking guard or anything like that and ask them about directions. So if
So
I'm
you
going,
are coming into the town. You notice that this is definitely a human centric settlement, but it is not human only. There are people of almost every shape, color, and creed imaginable. You notice that there are plenty of orcs, gnolls, and minotaurs, uh, a few goblins, a bunch of kobolds. There's really pretty much hardly any elves. Not many gnomes or halflings either, but it seems to be a pretty well diversified place. But you still very much stand out. Go ahead and describe to the other characters what you look.
you're looking, well, you're not looking yet, but when you see him, he's like about close to 7 foot, not quite tall humanoid. His head is entirely that of like a cobra. His outer skin is completely white except for the scales around his body. The stomach is green. His shoulders are green. There's like some spots on his arms that are still green. His eyes are red, just like an albino. And he's carrying he has a sword sheathed in a shield, and kind of reminds you of a naga, but humanoid. So I guess if I don't see, if all I see around me is people and I don't really see any establishments or anything, I guess I'll go up to any orcs because I know orcish, which I'm not necessarily familiar that orcish is the common language here, or would I know that orcish is the common language? I don't know.
You would probably know that Orcish is a combination.
Okay, well, I'll go up and ask someone for directions to the nearest tavern, or if they've ever heard of a snake lady.
Snake lady, I guess I can understand why you would be looking for one. No, I don't know nothing about no snake lady. Around here, we don't particularly care for snakes. Maybe you're looking for some of them weird folks out in the sticks that like to play with snakes.
No, I just need to find a tavern or an inn.
Well, there's a bunch of them around here. What are you looking for? You looking for the good drink? You looking for a place to stay? You looking for a good meal?
Good meal and a place to stay, preferably both in a nice, tidy package.
Well, I think that the bread and beer is pretty good all around. I think you can stay there. They usually got some pretty good food. They never run out of beer.
All right. Well, if you can just point me in the right direction, I'd be most appreciative.
Yeah, just head up this way over yonder and go through that main gate, and just after you pass the mid streets, it should be right up there on the right.
All right. Sounds great.
So you make your way through the crowd. You can see that there's a lot of military training going on. There are people all over the place in formation, running, doing PT. It seems like every kind of square scrap of land that would normally just kind of be left unattended or whatnot seems to have, you know, 3 or 4 people on there doing some kind of training, whether they're like wrestling or doing, you know, some weapons or body hardening, you know, just getting hit. You know, there's a bevy of things for your snake eyes to see. And you make your way over to the bread and beer, and as soon as you go in there, you just yeah.
What?
Your mic cut.
Yeah, you hit noise gate.
Snake.
Ah, snake.
I'll look around and be like, where? That's precisely what I'm looking for.
One of the guys at the counter kind of looked up, almost like drunken fog. Uh, he looks up at you and is, I think they're talking about you. What? What is a snake doing walking?
I have legs, so I walk.
I ain't never heard no snake with legs before.
Well, there's a first for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose there is a that. Why don't you come sit down and have a beer? Here.
Oh, you're going to buy me a beer?
Yeah. Sure.
All right, sure.
Bartender. My little hooded friend here. Something to drink. I don't think- So I don't want to make any bad 80s rock jokes, but what's up with the white snake?
White snake.
What's up with the white snake? Oh, you mean my skin?
I would have said scales. See, that's why I didn't try to ask right.
Well,
I don't know nothing.
why you don't like white?
It's not that I don't like it. I mean, I think it looks kind of striking, but it's definitely out there, and I ain't never seen that before. So I was just wondering what's up with that.
Well, I was born this way. That's all.
I guess that settles it then. I guess I was born this way. Well, not all this way. Some of it's alcohol. Bartender, where's my beer? Where's my friend's beer? Fuck. You know, he says, man, They got good beer here, but the service leaves something to be desired. I tell you what. And just then, a big, rough, burly-looking man behind the table or behind the bar walks up and sits down a couple big-ass fucking steens and says, you shut your fucking face." To the drunk guy, not to you.
Alrighty then.
So within moments, I feel like within moments of our new snake, well, not our, we're not companions yet, but our new snake player walks into the bread and beer. A man walks in, standing roughly 6 foot tall. I didn't actually state that, but a man walks in wearing black and red armor, carrying a overcompensatingly large single-bladed greatsword over his shoulder, which he places by the door as he enters into the establishment. And uh, he starts to walk towards the bar and the bartender, and his vision only falters when he is able to see Razare as a snake humanoid, because he is also here looking for a snake. And he also heard that a snake runs a tavern around here. In his, I won't mention that, but as he sees Razare, he's going to approach and go, You wouldn't happen to be the owner of this establishment, would you?
What makes you think that?
I'm here looking for a snake. It might be a snake lady. I'm not new around here, new to the city kind of area. Um, I'm a bartender a barkeep, I guess technically, that is looking
And as
for.
you say that, the drunk kind of rouses. He says, "Nick, what is it?"
Wait, what?
You
cut
noise
off.
gated again.
As you say that, the drunk kind of rouses himself up again and says, "Barkeep, where's my beer?"
Zash is gonna kind of look at the table and is gonna point to the two steins that are on the tables. I believe one of those is yours right there, sir.
He said, "Oh, yeah."
Your last name wouldn't be Strife, would it?
No, it is
Glad
not.
I'm not the only one.
Haha.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know you. No, I just got here. This is not my tavern. This is my new friend here, um, Mr. Drunk Man.
The
I-
drunkard, huh?
yeah, he doesn't hide himself in regret. He just loves himself and he's all set.
That makes sense, I suppose. Well, if you're not the owner of this establishment, then that means that you're not the particular snake that I'm looking for. I He's going to look to the drunkard then and go, "You wouldn't happen to know about some sort of a snake that runs a a very unique bar, from what I've heard, would you?"
Upon
He's been snoring for the past like minute since you pointed out the beer to him. He kind of dug some of it and then passed the hell out and has been snoring through your conversation.
Well, I guess at least he won't be bothering us.
uh, you hear a small voice in the corner go, "What? Why do you want to know?" And upon turning around, you see a small, almost fox-looking person. But upon closer inspection, with the couple of stripes and spots on her, you realize that she's a very, very small knoll lady. And
Fox!
and
Do a barrel roll.
she's sitting in the corner, looking at you warily, and sipping a small cider.
Is that how we greet each
And-
other here? We just yell out what we think each other is?
Right?
And go, I might know someone of that description, but why are you looking for someone like that?
Well, as I mentioned, I'm a barkeep who's currently traveling to get more world experience, I suppose. And I have a particular set of skills I think that the particular snake that I am looking for would be interested in.
Oh, and why this particular snake and why not any other barkeep?
Exposure.
He's a very particular barkeep with a very particular set of skills, and he's not afraid to use them.
And
But he's not afraid to just whip it out in front of anybody either.
At the mention of whipping it out, he pulls out like a set of 3 cups.
She looks at him and then looks to the sword, and then looks back at him and goes, "Exposure, eh?"
Okay, not that kind. All right, get your mind out of the gutter. No, I'm also a
That guy wakes up and says, "What's a gutter?"
I too am looking for a snake lady. I mean, look at me.
I can understand why you would want to, but is there anything outside of the fact that you may be the same race that would
Oh,
draw you to?
I'm definitely not the same race.
Then why would you want to see her? Or find someone of her description?
I have business with her.
Oh,
I don't
takes
pry.
she takes a drink of her cup. She doesn't just take business with just anyone.
Well, it's not my business. I'm just a messenger.
Messenger, eh? Now that's something I know about. And she taps her foot on the floor twice, and out from under the table crawls this gigantic hyena that had somehow managed to like stuff himself under there and lay down at her feet. And he comes up and he's got like a couple of saddlebags and so on. And she just drains her cup and then hoists herself onto this saddle looking thing on this hyena. And because now on closer looking, you realize that the hyena is taller than she is. And she goes, "If you want, you can pass your names and what you want from her onto me. I can pass it on to her, and then I'll let her decide whether she wants to meet you."
Yeah, I've got one of those. I also have a hyena.
Very good. Anyway. So, do you have a message, a name, a description, whatever, if you want to meet my lady? If not, I'll be off.
I have a message to deliver to her from my emperor.
She gets out like a piece of paper and like basically a makeshift sort of pen made out of like a wet bit of moist charcoal sort of thing, and it goes, "All right, what's your name and who's your emperor?"
Well, my name's Rosare.
Sorry, white, green, snake person. Yep, emperor.
I don't know if I'm allowed to just mention his name openly.
There's really only one. You just say the emperor.
Okay, the Emperor.
Just the emperor. Are we talking the one from? Do I know?
You probably don't.
Oh, okay. All right, the
'Cause
emperor.
There's kings around here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have maybe like a region then? The emperor of region.
The forest.
Descriptive. The forest. Well, that's gonna go well. And she like just puts like a very sort of dot, and then she turns to
She'll know.
then she turns to Zash and goes, "And you? Would you like me to send a message through to my lady?"
Sure. Just tell her that. Write down that my name is Zash, and I am a bartender looking to entertain. And as he's like explaining himself, he's gonna spread out the two cups that he has and like just kind of start flipping them around.
She looks at him and goes, juggles.
That's a little more complicated than that, but sure.
Bartender slash juggler slash sword
Anime,
enthusiast? Question
anime
mark?
protagonist.
Whack.
Seems legit.
Giant sword. And so yeah, she takes down that and then flips a coin to the barkeep. And goes, "Give these two men a room for the night. If that's okay with you two gents, I'll see you in the morning." And
Don't be a drag,
she
just be a queen.
Hey,
and then she's off on her steed to go see her lady.
her lady
Uh,
slave.
when the steed like sort of gets up, you realize that it's even bigger than you thought. You're like, is that like part like hyena don as opposed to just hyena? Ye gad.
I just realized you popped a picture of them up. I didn't even have that window active.
Well, maybe you should pay attention.
I was watching the other thing. Damn.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hero Forge doesn't really do hyenas. So
It's like a
Yeah.
wolf, right?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
kind of saddening.
yeah, that's technically a warg, but
You can like mess with the face models and stuff to like
yeah,
Get
smush
it
things.
more, betterer, but yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of rough.
yeah, I was hoping that I could do like stripes or something or spots, but there was no ability to add stripes or spots.
Okay, well. Is the guy still conscious that bought me the drink?
Sure.
I'll thank him for the drink and I'll ask for a room key.
Yeah, they already gave you rooms when she flipped over the coin, and
Okay. Well, I will nod my head to the human bartender man person and go to my room.
Zash will give a quick nod back and then grab his sword and kind of follow up into the room to help pass the time. Actually,
Drag
no,
it
he
to the
won't go
room.
up to the room yet. No, he can pick it up and carry it one-handed, just not swing it. He's actually going to go to the barkeep and ask the barkeep, "Hey, do you mind if I get back there and like help? I'm actually a really well trained barkeep."
roll diplomacy.
And the dice will tell the story.
And I just sent a
Me trying
message
to
in
find
character
diplomacy.
chat.
Would that just be society then? Oh no, there's
No,
diplomacy. Never mind.
diplomacy
I
would be
found it. I found it.
diplomacy. He had been kind of watching your little demonstration earlier, and he was like, "I see that you can flare, but can you mix?"
I can do both.
Yeah, sure, I'll give you a shot. It's a busy enough day. I could use a little help. Don't be in my way.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that.
Roll 3d6.
Woo!
Nice.
Roll that next one.
Is he blowing it up?
Yes.
Not that it
Oh,
matters.
Wow.
no, you're not.
You work through the rest of the evening with him, and you get a little bit busy enough that you're getting a little bit stressed, but you're also kind of starting to gather a bit of a crowd. You make 14 silver throughout the night.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Definitely a pretty good day's work for you.
That's like
Alright.
1.5 gold.
So whilst he's doing that, Bruni goes and gets the needed information in order to go see her lady to pass on the messages.
Mm-hmm.
She gets in
I'm
and sees
typing
a
back
little...
to you.
Oh, okay. Rolled a 12. Plus my 9, which is 21. Right.
So y'all have a good night's rest and wake up as the sun is. Wait, let me get back on my timeline and make sure that we're correct here. Okay. So as all of that was going on when y'all were coming in, uh, the night or the day was just kind of coming to a close. But we have a significant amount of day left in darkness time. So that was just before 2. Y'all, not you. Down there.
So,
I'm just mathing right now. Give me a moment. Or go ahead.
how long does it take me to go see my lady and get back? Or do I leave it for the night and...
Well, you bought us rooms, so I would assume we get to spend the night in them.
Yes.
Unless it was your plan to sneak in the rooms while we were asleep and assassinate us.
Alright, so Arcticus, you went to bed at about 2:30. Zash, you worked until 6. So we'll say that you return at turn of day.
Okay.
And it is our long darkness day, so the sun will not be coming up today. And then it'll be all day today, and then 8 hours of tomorrow before the sun comes up for 2 hours.
Alrighty. So when I get back to them, are they both awake?
Yes.
Alrighty. My lady would see you. But with Rosaria, as you may know, snakes tend to have a sensitive sense of smell. Please make sure that you are well bathed and well dressed. Make sure not to use any overpowering senses of smell, like scent and perfume. And I would recommend using soft-soled shoes, as hard boots can be very jarring. I
Okay.
will give you 1 hour, and I will be back. Take you to my lady.
Sounds good. I have soap. I can clean up for 40 minutes, and then for the remaining 20 minutes, or actually, hold on. Pause that thought. Nope. 50 minutes. And then for the remaining 10 minutes, I will use that to summon my steed.
Whilst they're
Remember,
doing that,
hours aren't 60 minutes.
What?
Remember, hours aren't 60 minutes.
Okay, so there are
Your
100
math
minutes?
is wrong. Yes.
Okay, well then 90 and 10.
So whilst they're doing that, I'll go make sure that I've got the updated password, and then go back and grab them.
And I will have cast Marvelous Mount. And I will cast it to be a giant hyena. I'll give a little nod to the knoll lady. See, I told you I had one.
Just one of her ears just sort of flicks to your hyena and back, but she goes to her hyena and goes, "Yes, but Crocus has been with me since I was very little, and I love her so much. My cutie little Crocus, croaky, Crocus, cutie pie." And she basically is like roughing her up and getting her like right into like her like mane and muzzle and whatnot, and you can just tell that Crocus is like, yeah. And but when like roughing her up, it's like very clear the difference in size of like if Crocus like opened her jaw wide, Bruni would basically be able to sit inside the jaw relatively comfortably. This Bruni is both tiny, but Crocus is also very large, and the difference is quite amusing. But they evidently have been together for a long time.
Well, my hyena, I've had it for all of 2 minutes. So
Crocus, Croaky, Bobini, Cutie Pie, and
It's also not going to last 8 hours because that's a whole day.
Yep.
It doesn't last a whole day. So it'll be 3 hours.
And so yeah, Bruni turns to both of you and goes, I forgot to do the pleasantries yesterday. My name is Brunea. But you may call me Bruni. Now, Rosare, you don't have a means of being able to travel as fast as the mounts. Does your large mount have room enough for two?
Well, it's a large. I would assume two people could ride it.
No.
No?
A large cannot carry two mediums.
It
A
also
large can carry two
specifies
tiny.
in it also specifies in the spell that it can only carry the target that cast it.
Oh, I see that.
And
Okay.
yeah,
What's your speed?
Probably
Sorry.
25.
Very technical conversations these characters are having.
Out
very
of character.
technical. Yep. 25 feet.
Well, it's all very well and good that you've got the mount, but unfortunately, the city is a bit packed, and you've probably just made it a little bit more compacted. Brittany gets back up on the hyena and leads you both at a steady pace to a round building with no windows and no doors. And she sidles Crocus up to the wall of it, and so that she's sideways, and she knocks on it 3 times and whispers a word, and suddenly you guys all find yourselves not where you were.
Mounts and all?
Yep, mounts and all.
Cool.
Interesting.
And
Y'all materialize in a smallish kind of entryway.
Bruni gets off
With
of
a big guy in front of you that says password.
she goes up to him and whispers it in his ear, and then gets back down, and then turns to Crocus and goes, "Sit, stay, go get," and then turns to Rosare and goes, "You might want to leave your mount here as well."
Okay.
And then leads all 3 of you through this underground casino full of tables that are doing poker, blackjack, craps, all these roulette, and
Ooh.
many
Lots.
many other forms of gambling. Couple of bars, to a back room that is behind a couple of layers of like curtain, a little bit of a walkway, another curtain sort of thing to muffle out the sound, before eventually getting into a antechamber, where Bruni bows to the front of the antechamber and goes, "The visitors I told you about, milady. I have brought them."
Here, why are you not showing?
Oh, we got a scene for this one now. Ooh.
Very fancy.
Someone's been busy.
I didn't build it. I just found it.
Oh.
But then she went ahead and took y'all straight to the office. So no, I don't have a fucking room.
You
Just
can
load,
just say,
just load a blank thing with a big circle on it.
yeah, we'll say the kitchen's the office.
Well, you know, what is it? Up here? Or top right?
The poker table?
Or,
Or you mean
oh,
left?
true, they're all. I have no idea. Oh, no, bottom. Yeah, down the bottom, either on the left or right of the entryway.
I mean, yeah, but yeah.
Why not even have why? Well, each one of you guys are going to have a separate conversation with the snake lady anyway.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I've probably just led you to, like, the stairs just after the piano. As you're heading down.
She'll bring Zash in first. Say, huh? So I hear that, and as you guys were walking through, Zash, you noticed that most of the bartenders, some of them were, just kind of serving drinks pretty straight, but most of them were putting on a bit of a show. Says, I hear that you got a little pizzazz. Why don't you show me what you can do? And she hits a button in her office, and one wall just turns around and full bar. Everything that you could fucking want is right there. She says, make me something.
Anything. Okay. So. Ooh. I'd like to actually get a read on her to see if I can, like, attempt to figure out what sort of drinks she would like, flavor-wise, before I actually, like, go ahead
Perception.
and okay.
Well, snakes can't produce their own body moisture. It's something. That was almost a 19.
Almost. It was actually almost 11, but it rolled towards the 9.
You see that snake's face.
Okay. If I observe the bottles in the back, are any of them more empty than the rest of them? I don't want to take so long on this. I want to, like, do well.
Good question.
You get the impression that the test is more about how than what.
All right. So, if that's the case, he's going to shake up, I guess, this world's equivalent of, like, a cosmopolitan.
All right. So, what are your steps? How are you doing it?
I actually don't know how to make a cosmopolitan. I kind of feel shitty now. So gather. It would be to gather the required alcohol and I know that there's, like, grenadine involved. So to gather the required materials first, which he does, of course, with the flair that he has been trained to perform with. Grabbing bottles off the shelves and, flipping them around. Um, Catching one with one hand and then, like, stacking things on his arms and shit. before laying them out on the table and then laying out his two mixing cups that he needs to uh, properly mix and shake up the drink, which is also full of multiple flips of the two cups together, and he's even able to like roll. I want to say he'd be skilled enough to roll the cups like down one arm around his shoulders, out the other arm to catch it, kind of deal.
Roll performance.
Sounds good.
Oh boy.
I do like acrobatics, performance, and crafting.
Dirty 20.
All right, keep going.
All
You,
right.
you see its tongue flick out between two teeth and just kind of taste the air.
Don't forget the orange peel.
Yep. There's the orange peel and like the exhaust. So after the mixing of the drinks is over, he gets ready for a pour, which he will perform a long pour to fill the I believe it fits in a martini glass to fill the glass, and then with the long pour he's going to then cut up an orange peel and essentially squeeze it over the drink before rimming it.
Oh, giggity. Oh, wow.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Once together.
Actually, I'd like to think that a lot of people here know what a gutter is because it's for sewage management, but that's old timey lore shit. Actually, it's just history shit, not lore. History is not lore. Anyway, yeah. So, do I need to roll another performance, or is that just the end of the mixing of the drink and showing off?
He says, yeah, you got a little skill to you. I also see you carrying around that big ass fucking sword. So why is it that you want to work here?
Oh, mostly experience. I've heard tales of your establishment, and it interests me the sort of business that you run. Um, I am multifaceted with the sword and my bartending skills.
So what is it that you have heard about my business?
All good things, I assure you. But mostly that it is exotic and more so perfectly fit for someone of my talents than, say, a small village on the outskirts of the city.
And what are you looking for?
Realistically, not much more than a job.
In life, my boy.
Oh, I mean, hmm, I suppose I'd be looking to become experienced with the world. I would like to travel, and this is, I suppose, to travel and make connections. I'll correct myself. Um, so this way, I may one day own my own successful establishment, much like yours is.
So you would be a competitor?
I don't have to be in the city.
You would not, I assure you. I assure you.
Is it not the goal of every sort of entrepreneur to seek the most riches that they can.
Blanket statements can be dangerous. I would have assumed that anyone with a sword like that had a friend with a gun for an arm.
God damn it. You know,
Oh,
maybe I will.
that was out of character. I couldn't not.
So great.
And here am I thinking, like, as far as like Bruni's like going, but I'm your friend with a gun on my arm.
No, gun as an arm. There's a very distinct difference.
Yeah, but we're missing the big boob monk.
No, we're missing
Big
the fucking.
Boom Monk? With an M?
Big boobed monk.
OOBED. Boo bed. Like if the place you sleep is haunted.
Blanket statements might be dangerous, but nonetheless, I am a bartender seeking to become a worldly experienced barkeep. So this way I may provide potential customers with exotic drinks, more exotic than I can make in a small town.
Instructions on what you desire. Maybe that is something that I can help with. On! Little gnome kind of runs over. Rosare, he just kind of pushes by you, knocks on the door real quick, and goes in, says, take this man and introduce him to the team, show him the ropes. Tell the next one to come in.
Bruni bows and goes and fetches Rosare and brings him in.
No, that wasn't you. That was Coin, someone else. That was
Oh.
the head bartender that he's going to be trading under. So he takes Zash and leads him off. Zash, you can start telling me something about the team that you're working with.
Oh boy. I feel like.
I mean, in character chat.
All right, sounds great.
Okay, so I'm in the room now.
Yeah. Did you ever decide what the message was? I know you don't know much about where it came from, but
Oh no,
I wasn't
I didn't.
expecting to actually get to this point this quickly.
I never would have opened the message.
No, not in character, out of character. I told you like where it was coming from, what was going on, and how it was going to play in, but we never. I said we can figure out what the message is later, and we never actually did.
Oh, well, I was just going to present the message and let her read it and go from there.
I lump it in your lap, Rick, and
Right, go to character chat. Rosari, character chat.
Yep.
Gonna go make myself another coffee. I'll be back.
Coffee? Ew. Okay, so where would that fit me into this? So would I be considered like a diplomatic envoy?
Not in any official sense. Like as far as the city or the kingdom are concerned, no.
Well, I guess so, because I'm going to her and not the king.
Yeah.
When the story progresses a little bit faster than you expected to.
We gotta figure out some shit. So are you gonna make your your crew call you a chef?
Me?
Yeah, make them say like yes, chef.
No. No, in fact, I think personally that even though the team might be great and they might be good like together, I feel like Zash himself has a far more adventurous side when it comes to mixing drinks. So he'll like kind of randomly throw something together and serve it to somebody, which could cause issues. And then on top of that, um, he's from a small town, and there is no way that he's used to the amount of drinks that he's gonna have to serve as quickly. So a lot of his flair is actually for showmanship and not to be efficient with mixing per se. So he's likely not gonna be able to keep up.
So
Okay, sorry. What did I miss?
are you gonna be putting drinks with like a bubble over top of them and then putting smoke inside the bubble and stuff?
No, I don't think he'd do that. But
Then pop the bubble and then light the mist on fire.
Does he have
no,
a flame cantrip to like brulee the top?
no, he doesn't. That'd be fucking cool if he did. Um, no, it's more so a lot of his is just like you would end up getting a drink that mixes like blackberry and orange, which like would be actually probably an amazing tasting drink, but it's also got a weird assortment of alcohols that he'd probably mix with like rum and gin or something just to be adventurous with it to see if it would taste good.
I don't think I'd mix rum and gin though.
Exactly my point.
Honestly, I didn't even hear orange and gin when you were saying that. I heard orange and licorice,
No, orange and blackberry, and then rum and gin.
which also sounds like, you know what? That actually might be absolutely phenomenal. I am not keen to try it. Like,
Right, exactly.
It
Like,
reminds me of the YouTube channel How to Drink, where he
yeah.
where he makes all these weird and wonderful cocktails.
Or the tipsy bartender.
Mm.
He's kind of funny to watch.
I love his the customer is wrong ones from the How to Drink, where he gets like receipts from customers
Yeah.
and recreates them. And
Yeah.
it's like, why did you do this?
Because they hate themselves.
I like slow gin.
I don't care what speed it is. I'm not a fan of gin.
Like, why did you mix Kahlua with vermouth?
That's actually no, never mind. I make a personal drink, and it's like an official one, but it's like my favorite like layered shot. It's called the B52, and it consists of Kahlua, Bailey's, and Grand Marnier.
Well, with the Bailey's,
I think you forgot a
sorry.
key ingredient in that.
A shot glass and a spoon.
A tin roof. Busted.
Anyway, was there anything that I missed from Rosares?
You have noticed that there's a considerably longer discussion than usually occurs going on inside that Snake Lady's office.
Are you
Character
getting
chat,
worried?
right?
I could be feasting on your mistress right now.
With lima beans and a nice Chianti.
I haven't had lima beans in forever.
I haven't bought cardboard Kraken forever either.
Oh, I heard cardboard kraken. What?
Yeah, cardboard crack.
What?
Magic the
What is
Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, cardboard crack. Yep. What does that got to do with lima beans and Chianti?
I don't know. Somebody said something about crack. I thought. I don't know.
Ah, Chianti. No, it's a thing
Okay.
from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know where he got that from. That was just random.
That was my brain fucking up. Actually, it might be the. Oops, sorry.
You should not be on GM for playing. Or
You're
did
right.
I
I should be.
make your regular account GM?
No, you didn't. I'm still on GM. We haven't been doing much, and I forgot to log out.
I mean, I don't mind. There was, actually, you weren't here for it. Fuck. In the early days of the campaign, before any of you guys joined, um, when Ben, well, no, he was playing Kyla, but when we first entered the caverns, he was playing on a GM account. And so he saw some of the notes that I had made about the traps and whatnot. And he saw one of them when they were in the room by accident. And so he knew that there are 5 ever burning torches on the line, but if you touch one of them, it's going to set off a fireball. And so he touched it because he knew that was going to happen.
Because
I mean,
his
I wouldn't do
character,
that personally, but that's me.
well, his character would have touched it, but he knew there was a trap, and he wouldn't have touched it if he'd known there was a trap. But his character didn't know it was a trap, so he played it through the eyes of his
Exactly.
character instead of metagaming
Did we
it.
change the password for Seagull or no?
No.
Because I don't remember it. Weird.
That that Cheshire grin makes me worry, Rick.
We're all quite mad. Yeah.
He wants me to type differently.
Not type, sir.
I know.
Not type. Script.
Alrighty. So Sash has gone off and is training with the team. Rosare, as you exit the office, you see him off in the corner behind a bar, kind of throwing some cups in the air and looking like he's super confident with that. But like with what's actually going into the tufts, seems a little bit less so. And Bruni, you see Rosare come out and then head into the office yourself and get a little bit of an update.
Okay. Is that going to be live on video or is that going to be via chat?
I'm sending you in character chat.
Right.
Don't forget the orange peel, sir.
There,
I'm
I
speaking
fixed it.
to
I remembered it.
Zash. You must peel the skin over the cup.
It's interesting that you know so much about this.
Well, I do like my oils. I have an invader.
Oh no.
Ah. Littlest, cutest, patoniest.
That cute.
My little parrot. She loves sitting on the shoulder. I stop scratching her so she goes and finds my hand and keeps nudging it until I start scratching her again.
Sounds like a cat. That's exactly how Sam acts. Like, wait, what? What? No.
I gotta turn the light on. I'll be right back.
Does either Brother Bonk or Ziegel remember the name of the person sitting at the bar that tipped you off about the weapons to begin with?
No, I do not. Oh my god, who was that?
Um,
I think I wrote it down.
into my notes.
Do I even have it on my? Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. Anyway.
Uh, was it Marcus?
No,
No.
MILF?
no, that was Scott.
Yeah. I don't have it in my notes.
I'll probably be up in my chat with you at some point.
But it doesn't matter. Like, I don't need it or anything. I was just wondering if either of you did, or even in fact, if I did. But I do.
Um. Anyway, what was I saying? Okay.
So I've been watching Zash. Is he doing a good job?
He is doing an amazing job of entertaining you. Then you are absolutely flabbergasted at some of the tricks that he's able to pull off. But every time he finishes a drink and he kind of slides it your way since you came in together, you the first one you took a tiny sip and you were just immediately like,
Assaulted
nah,
by alcohol.
nah, and then you kind of set it aside. The second one came and you kind of like flicked your tongue out and just flapped at it a little tiny bit and then set it aside. And after that, you just started smelling them. And you're like, this person does not know how to mix a fucking drink for their life.
Well, I'm pretty sure I don't
You're
like.
you are pretty sure that at one point you got served antifreeze. It doesn't
Shit.
exist in this world, yet somehow
Somehow he's actually an artificer. Or alchemist, sorry.
Well, I have heard that antifreeze tastes sweet.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's why dogs like it.
Oh goodness. So I come out from speaking with the lady and come up to Rosare and basically
Yes.
go. Seems like you're sticking with me for the meantime. That is, if you don't mind my company.
It doesn't matter to me.
Very good. Alrighty. I need to speak to some contacts. So if you could just hang over my shoulder, that'd be excellent, and hopefully just the sight of you will help loosen their tongues. And
Ah,
with that,
at that point, from the team leader, he looks over at you, Zash, and he says, I think you need to go get drunk and then come back when you know what alcohol is supposed to taste like.
So, well, that's not really gonna happen. I don't exactly drink. Um, nice
Bruni pokes up
knowing
and
you
goes.
then, I guess.
Bruni
You got the skills. You can definitely put on a show. We appreciate that. We know we need that. We always need good bartenders, but we do need to be able to deliver the customers a drink that they drink.
maybe he should serve the beer.
That was why he made so much money last night. Nobody actually ordered a mixed drink, and you just flared the fuck out of the beer.
Yeah. It was the most head on a beer you've ever had, but it was a beer.
Oh no, you do great with the pouring, as long as there's no mixing.
Right, right.
Have you got like a -3 to crafting or something?
No, it's just that's a flair thing. He hasn't actually tasted alcohol or knows what his drinks taste like. So they're just like they're either really light or really heavy, and there's no in between.
Um, at that, Bruni perks up and goes, "Ah, so you are better with your sword than you are with the spirits. Excellent. I could use your help then."
Use my help with what?
Well, I'm on a bit of a information gathering sort of mission. And as you can see, I'm not the most imposing figure. And, well, it would be helpful if I could get both of your assistances in helping out my lady.
All right. I don't see why we can't do that.
And plus, it gets you
Well,
travel.
me.
Um, it gets you travel and contacts. Uh,
Yay.
and at that, Bruni sort of goes like, who should I speak to first? Then she looks around the bar, and then she goes, aha! Lachlan! Excellent! And goes and talks to Lachlan, who is the guy who has been missing his weapons recently. And...
Inspiration for Sharn.
Good job on like finding the note or remembering what his name actually was.
It took a little bit of doing, but I found it.
You as you're kind of spitballing for who to talk to, you do indeed find him sitting actually that same chair at that same bar being served by that same bartender with the same worn out glass things on the stool because he probably actually hasn't left since that last time. And as you walk up to him, he is kind of muttering to himself, halfway bitching at the bartender, who is completely ignoring him as if he's used to it. But he just seems kind of grumpy, kind of upset, kind of distracted.
Lachlan, I heard on the grapevine that you were missing your weapons. I think I may have caught wind of something about what has happened. But I was hoping that you could give me more info.
More info? What are you talking about, more info? I don't know nothing. All I know is I'm getting fucked here. First, this shit with my work. Second, this asshole don't want to give me a full goddamn beer, trying to say I'm half cut off and shit. Only want to give me this twiddly ass little servings. Well, motherfucker.
I love the peeking.
Bruni just sort of rubs her forehead and goes, "Didn't you send someone out to investigate this? Did you not receive any news from them?"
What? No, I ain't heard shit back. It's been like a couple days ago now.
So we haven't heard anything back. Do you know where he went?
Well, all I knew what I done told that big horny motherfucker was that there was some weapon shipments that should have been going through me, and they were heading into shit F Corps. And I think they went. He said he was going to try and find out who the weapons was for, or something like that.
Wait,
I don't know.
big horns?
That motherfucker, he was just big and horny, and he kind of looked like he could actually use that sword that you're carrying.
Big and horny. Bernie.
Is Bruni aware of the whole thing with Zeagle and the match a couple of days back?
Roll society.
Roll Society? Alright. Boop. 13.
Plus,
You remember hearing something about it, but you weren't in town that night. You were out doing reconnaissance.
When you say big and
You're not
horny,
like intimately familiar with it.
are you talking about a Minotaur?
Minotaur, that's the fucking word. I was trying to think of it, and I was just getting Minotaur. I figured better to not even say the wrong thing and just make things more confusing. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Alright, so
Minotaur.
big Minotaur. Alright. Was he on his own?
I'm not sure. I don't think he had anybody like standing right with him when we were talking or anything, but I think I did see him with some other people whenever they was leaving. I'm not sure though. I was, believe it or not, was a wee bit inebriated.
No, you don't say.
I
So
did
you're
say.
just some other people. Alright. Uh, would other people remember this Minotaur, do you know? Barkeep? Bartender? Were you there that night?
He was, because I did say that he was sitting in the same chair getting served the same beer by the same bartender. So yes, he is. And yes, he does. And no, I do not have a voice or a name for him.
Bartender number 3.
Bartender number 3.
He does verify that yes, that the Minotaur that was speaking with Lachlan was in fact Zeagle, and that it was the same one that you kind of remembered hearing about. And in fact, he got his ass handed to him in a arena match the very next day by somebody nobody's ever heard of named fucking Brother Bonk or some shit.
Interesting. Do you know where they've been staying, or like have
That
you?
I don't know. Once somebody passes outside of here,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Brother Bonk and Zeagle. All right.
I mean, obviously, I mean, maybe your best bet's to check the roost.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks, mate. And then she tosses a copper coin onto the bar and go as a copper coin actually each. One for Lachlan, one for the bartender, and goes thanks and starts heading off towards the entryway where Crocus is waiting.
I am your shadow.
I assume Zash is also following.
Yes, he is.
Alrighty, so y'all make your way out of the casino easily and back up to the surface world the same way that you came.
Did Zash hit any of the chandeliers with his sword?
No, believe it or not, he's actually very careful with that thing.
I
Strapped
don't
to
know. I
his
think
back
we need
It
to.
was a good
imaginary.
question. I'll allow it.
No,
Strapped to his back with an imaginary
know.
invisible hook.
I think you need to roll acrobatics to see if you maneuvered.
No, I
Do
think he
you
just
have a
needed
back sheath or something like that, Zash?
he would just like
That's
so this way he
kind
doesn't
of
have
what I
to.
figured.
Yeah, He would, just so he doesn't have to carry it, but like he does just like heft it over his shoulders a lot.
Okay.
No, I was just because I always love it where Cloud's Drive just back sheath, and then you look at it and it's just sort of like, is it?
It's actually a magnet, yeah.
um. So yeah, we go out and I'm back on Crocus, and we start heading off, and I'm like, all right, we're heading to a place called the Roost. Not many people know about this place, but just in case you guys need to get back to the casino without me, this is where you go to get the daily password in order to gain entrance into the casino. Without it, you won't be able to get in.
Sounds good.
And so
Y'all walk into the Roost and
Elephant.
have fun.
That was startling.
you see a large bipedal elephant woman kind of rush over excitedly. She's got a couple of steams of beer in her hand and a tray in the other, and she runs over and just almost as if completely forgetting that her hands were full, she kind of squats down and deliberately and yet very gingerly wraps her elephant arms around the tiny little knoll. You guys can kind of see that the arms themselves are actually bigger than this tiny little knoll. So your minds are kind of trying to configure how this hug actually works, but it did look like warm and cuddly at the same time as how did she possibly survive that?
Bruni just laughs and he goes, Auntie! I'm on the job!
Why is that red? Do you see that?
No?
What is what, Red?
There you go. It's in Bruni's game chat. Character chat.
Auntie, forget me not. I'm on the job.
Oh, well. What are you doing?
Need information about a minotaur and an orc called Zeagull and Brother Bunk. Zeagull was a
Anything. Wait, the arena ones?
those ones.
No, I don't remember nothing.
Figured. Is there anyone else who met them, do you think? Do I know much about the out of character? Do I know much about the Roost?
Yeah, you probably would because it is where you have to go every time.
Yeah.
So, like,
Is
yeah,
there someone
you.
outside of Forget Me Not that I can talk to?
The drunk guy that was sitting at the table. Need to get Steven back in here. Drunk guy with a napkin.
Well, Arnie, since I'm here, I would absolutely love to get one of your special cookies that you make. Here, Crocus, you stay outside. Sit, stay, go. Excellent. If we could just take this inside, that would be excellent. Don't worry about these guys forget me not. They've been deemed trustworthy for now.
How does that make y'all feel? Trustworthy for now.
Well, we only just met yesterday. Gotta understand.
Sounds like a bunch of shit.
I've told you about the roost. That's a lot of trust. Now, come on.
Okay.
Right. So y'all kind of follow Bernie back to the conversation room. It just seems to be kind of like, imagine just like a conference room. It's set up specifically so that a good number of people can kind of have a meeting, um, and be more or less sequestered from the general rowdy kind of bar zone. And Forget Me Not shortly wanders in with some drinks and some cookies, and as she closes the door behind her, she kind of looks around furtively, and she's like, "All right, brass tacks. Ziegel and Brother Bonk stayed here. They had their arena match. They came back. They cleaned up. They left. From what I understand, they were going to Shith F Corps, and I have not seen them since. Uh, I don't know what is going on there.
Do you recall if
Did
they
they
had
have
any
any visitors?
visitors or contacts or other people with them?
I know that Micah was back and forth a couple of times,
Mike?
and there was this human that was there. I don't really know him. And I think they might have had some kind of magical being or something that was going in, because there was definitely something else going with them, but I never actually saw it. And then who else was with them? Let me think. It was this weird. It was almost like a human thing, but it wasn't. And it was it here that you took your sleeves off and showed your spikes, Arcticus, or was that elsewhere? Did she see them or not? I don't remember.
I don't think so. It was at it was after the arena match.
That yeah, it was there. Okay. Because but right before they left here, you remember that body rain a couple of days ago? That was when that happened. And then out of nowhere, there was just they were all talking outside, and there was just this bolt of fucking lightning that came and hit that one dude right square on the fucking noggin.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm sorry I can't tell you more about where they went or what happened, but that's all I remember.
Well, they did see Micah. That's at least something. I might be able to get an audience with him. Thank you, Auntie Forget Me Not. This has been a huge help.
My pleasure, honey. I'm sorry I got to go ahead and get back to my tables.
All good, all good. I'm gonna steal some of these cookies though from you though. And she proceeds to like stuff some of the cookies into like various pockets and pouches.
You and the sweets, man.
Yes. But she mainly just goes outside and then proceeds to take them out of her pockets and whatnot, and goes, "All right, these ones have chocolate, so they're not safe, but these ones are fine. So here you go, Crocus," and feeds them to Crocus.
Thanks.
Why are you saying thanks? I'm giving them to my hyena.
Well, I was saying thanks to the elephant.
Ah, Madam Forget-Me-Not. She has short-term memory problems. So every time that you talk to her, you need to refer her to her as Forget-Me-Not. Otherwise, she will forget. It's like a weird little charm that allows her to remember stuff. Don't know. But I've known her so long that I just call her Auntie. Now, Micah. How do I get an audience with Micah? Alright, let's head off and head towards the central area where the guards
You can
are.
stay in the conversation room to sort it out, make your plan. He's gone to take care of other people, but y'all got the room to yourself.
I was just gonna go towards the castle, to the gates, and go like to basically one of the guards, talk to one of the guards that I probably know, and go, "Hey, I need to talk to Micah and see if they'll let me in because I'm a messenger, well-known messenger sort of person that's always in and out. See if I could."
I'll allow you to roll society for it, but I don't think you're in that circle.
Could I roll? Oh, there's no persuasion.
Persuasion is basically like an action that you
Diplomacy.
roll particular skill for. Usually it was diplomacy or society based on the circumstances. But yeah, this one would be society because it's a person that you probably don't know, and
Yeah. No, I did not roll overly well.
you come up to the gate and the guard looks at you, and he looks at your hyena, and he looks at the snake guy behind you and the big ass fucking sword, and he says, "None of you look like you have a library book."
Well, that is very much true. But we're hoping to get an audience with Micah. Would you be able to? Is there like a messenger person in the castle that could send a message through to him for us?
He points to a little pad where you can sign in off to the side. Kind of a please take a number and your query will be ignored for the immediate future type of vibe.
I look at it and go, surely there's a runner boy that could take a note to him for me.